Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Battle of the Discords, today's special THL and other Discords tournament, where we're going to tell you what is going on and feature some of the best matches. I am one of your casters for today, Lotus Knight, and I am joined by Nice Jewish Owl. Owl, how are you?
Doing okay. Excited to see some good matches, see some good Hearthstone played.
Awesome. One second. We have quite the match tonight. Can you tell our players what match we're featuring first?
Yeah, we're going to be starting off with the match between Dreadeye and Baticus. This is during the Swiss rounds, so I believe it's the second round of the tournament.
It is the second round. We are hopping into the second round.
And Dreadeye is a name that I'm guessing most people are familiar with, has done quite well in the competitive Hearthstone scene. Baticus is someone I'm not as familiar with.
It seems they're a new player. Do you think you can check in the Discord which Discord they come from? I believe Dreadeye is representing THL this week.
Yeah, and Baticus is representing Coin Concede, it looks like.
Okay, so it's a THL versus Coin Concede. Now, can you very briefly, I will just remind everyone of what this tournament is about?
Yeah, this tournament we've got people from a few different Hearthstone discords all joining together to battle it out and determine who the best discord is. And
Right. Now, we are featuring the stream on THL, but we have quite a few Discords represented. Is that right, Owl?
mm-hmm.
Can you
Yeah,
tell us who are the four?
yes, yeah, it's going to be Coin Concede, THL, Vicious Syndicate, and Tierra Stifuego.
Nice. And do we know, for this first match, do we know the decks that are going to be brought?
Yeah. For Dreadeye, we've got Rainbow Mage and Rage Warrior and Highlander Shaman, as well as a Highlander Druid that was banned. For Baticus, we've got the Dragon Druid, the Cleave Hunter, and looks like Secret Mage, which is an interesting one.
Nice. I'm curious to see Secret Mage. Um, should we give them a go?
Yeah, I think if the players are ready, we're ready to hop into the match.
Awesome. Have you added them?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I'm just waiting for Baticus to add me. Do you have their tag? I can add them if you have it.
Yeah, Baticus number 1605.
Okay. 1605.
Yeah, I'm interested this match. I'm interested to see how the Secret Mage performs because it's a deck that I haven't really seen at all on ladder
Right?
or round.
I really want to see Secret Mage as well. Plus, I like the deck. It's a fun deck to play. I'm really curious if they're going to what is going to happen with it here. So right now we're just waiting for Baticus to go.
Yeah, sort of briefly looking at the stats for Secret Mage, it looks like it's probably going to struggle here, as its better matchups tend to be against slower decks like Control Warrior or Death Knight options, which makes sense because it's got some disruption, it's got value
Does it play the
with
Excavate
that
package?
Excavate package. Yeah, because I think one of sort of the powerful things the deck can do is playing the Reliquary Researcher alongside Contract Conjurer. because that'll immediately give you those 2 secrets to make the Conjurer free.
Okay. Huh. Does sound like a nice way to do it. I mean, if you can get both secrets early, that card, I mean, as someone, I've been playing a lot of Mage, and if there's one card in the Excavate package that's really strong, it is that one. The literal card
Yeah,
that ends so many matches.
Yeah, I've been playing a bunch of the sort of Rainbow Mage with that Excavate package, and the Reliquary Researcher certainly puts in work. Yeah, sometimes you get the Ice Barrier plus Vengeful Visage, and then you're kind of just shrugging, but usually it does something, and at the very least, it disrupts your opponent.
I mean, they balanced it by giving a new secret that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think the new secret is certainly bad in isolation, but I think just when you have something like that card where your opponent has to play around a whole bunch of different options, it can end up kind of messing with them.
Yep, it's true. Still waiting for Baticus.
I think.
But we are almost there.
I was gonna say, I know that sort of the Cleave Hunter deck hasn't seen as much play following the nerf to always a bigger Jormungandr. But I've also heard that the deck still is decent from people that play it.
I've faced it a few times. It wasn't fun. It was not fun to face it. I mean, we will have Ron on stream later, so you can ask all your Hunter questions to Ron. And I'm sure that is the best way for you to get that kind of information, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've heard the deck can be quite frustrating to play against because the way you play against it is by not playing minions, and people often don't like playing games where it feels like they're punished for doing what they want to do.
Yeah, well, it's the usual thing. I mean, it's the problem with Hunter. You don't want to face a deck that because you played 3 minions, they are going to kill you. So we do have both players ready. Of course, you ready. Also. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the players are ready. We can hop in.
Awesome. And we are almost good to go. Just wanna... The scene is all set, and yeah.
Looks like the players are hopping into the match. We're gonna see the Enraged Warrior up against the Secret Mage.
All right. Enraged Warrior versus Secret Mage it is. Now, as you said, how do you feel about this matchup?
I personally think that Enraged Warrior is currently the strongest deck in the meta.
Yeah.
I know it'll struggle against some of the Druid decks, but
I
imagine it will chew up this Mage.
Yeah, I'll be honest, my pro match yesterday, every single game came down to a Warrior loss. And all 5 games had Warriors losing, which was a shocker to me.
Yeah, that is surprising. I've personally been having a lot of success with Rage. Well, when it's not banned, I've had a lot of success with it in matches.
Nice. Now we're
Yeah.
the match is beginning, so I'm going to hop onto it really, really quick. I apologize for some technical difficulties. Mac has been hitting me really hard today.
And we see very good starts from both players, with the warrior having a one drop followed by extractor followed by the axe, whereas the mage has the keyboard on 2 and a coin cold case on 3. Sort of exactly what you want from both decks.
Right. Now, in your opinion, now, what does this, when you have this scenario, what do you think this favors?
I would still definitely lean towards the warrior. I think the combination of the warrior's ability to create very snowballing boards and have a lot of potential burst really makes me favor the warrior in this matchup. I'm surprised here that we don't see the coin cold case from the mage. My thought would have been that the 4/4 helps contest this anima extractor very well.
Yeah.
But
It is usually one of your must kills. And a lot of the matches you win as mage, it is because you go early cold Ks and make an enormous board.
Now I'm very surprised to see the cold case, because my instinct would have been to coin out the Burrow Buster to take out this anima extractor.
You really don't want the anima extractor around, especially, I mean, we know there's an Olgra, but in any case, this is a dangerous play.
Yeah, because sort of the 4/4 gets traded very efficiently by 3 Balor. The 2/2s don't pose that much of a threat, and with Sanguine Depths and Jam Session, you get a lot of buffs in here. Yeah.
Yeah, you also get so much draw. You can literally draw your whole deck right now.
Yeah. Could consider sort of saving that draw, depending on how Dreadeye wants to do the trades here, saving it to resurrect 3 Balor in the future, or to combo with the new Risky Skipper, but also just the free cycle. Not something you're going to complain about with this deck.
Yeah. Now, is there enough time for him to do everything he wants to do? Oh, he is going face.
Yeah, I like this play.
I like it a lot.
There's a lot of burst potential in hand from Olgra. This mage deck doesn't run any efficient removal or board clears like Rainbow Mage does. So just forcing your opponent to make these awkward trades on board, push that damage, and I think we're going to see the game closed out pretty quickly.
I agree. Now, this may be an enormous Olgra.
Yes, but I also believe there's just lethal on board.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, there are a million ways for lethal.
I don't know about a million. I think
there's a lot.
There's one, and it was going face.
I mean, there's also just Olgra at this point. Hitting face a bit, playing Olgra.
So
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Olgra that turn.
So there's a warrior out of the way, bringing us back to the original screen for a second. So this puts Dreadeye's warrior through. Do you think this was expected? What's your opinion on it, Owl?
I think if the warrior, this was definitely the best matchup for the warrior, and the warrior had a strong start. The mage had an okay start, but I think just didn't capitalize on a game plan that would have disrupted the warrior as much as the mage could have. I think Warrior being such a strong deck was very likely to get through on at least one game. And the bad matchup for Warrior in the Druid, Batticus's Druid still has a favorable
Yeah.
into the Mage here. So I think hopefully not as worried about getting it through on the Warrior. And we are going to see the Mage up against the Druid here.
So we have Mage against Druid now. Another interesting one. I apologize for the small technical issues I've been having with my Mac and Streamlabs as we go into Mage versus Druid.
Yeah, this matchup is, I believe, favored for the Druid just because you're able to make some very, very large minions, often
yeah.
faster than the Mage can deal with them.
I mean, the problem is by the time the Mage starts to remove stuff, it's not good.
Yeah, it's often either the Druid makes the minions before the Mage has played enough spell schools to have the creations remove them, or I've found even if the Druid goes a little slower, you're able to just churn out so many boards of large minions that the Mage runs out of removal pretty quickly.
Yep.
And because you're applying so much pressure, the Mage, unless they have a very, very lucky sequence of draws, just isn't able to find the burn to close out the game before you just beat them down with dragons.
Yep.
And, we see here very, very strong start for the Druid, drawing both of those whelps in the early game. Really what you want to see, just accelerating these threats.
Yes.
On the Mage side, I imagine we'll probably see a coin volume up here. It's not quite as good as Cold Case in terms of tempo, but being able to get that 4/4 on turn
For sure.
3 it's often why you run the keyboard and the Cold Case to follow it up.
And this
is going to give some play.
It is the dream scenario for the Mage, just being able to get your 4/4s, get your board, hope the Druid doesn't get enough time where they get to play their 7-drop.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an awkward spot for the Druid just
It
because
is.
you kind of want to play the Whelp, the Splish Splash Whelp to ramp, but then you have a bunch of minions that really don't line up well against this 4/4.
Well, you could go Splish Splash and Emberwhelp. The other option is
Would you
just
be-
Emberwhelp hero
Yeah.
power.
I think I would definitely prefer to get the Mana Crystal here. Yeah,
I
seems
agree.
like Vaticus is going to agree. Then you have the option of playing the 4/4 Amber Whelp or the 3/3 Amber Whelp.
Ooh, going
And
face.
I'll play the 3/3. Go face. I don't mind the play, but yeah, the Cold Case here is going to give the Mage a really big tempo
Yeah.
advantage.
This is literally what the Mage is looking for every time.
Innervate. Okay. There's an option here to trade off both these minions and follow it up with that Drum Soloist to get the buff and the rush. I think the other option would be playing the Whelp alongside the Proto Drake. Yeah, it looks like is going to opt for the Drum Soloist here. It could innervate out the Whelp. That then means probably opting to play the Proto Drake alongside Fi on the following turn.
Yep.
For the Mage here, I imagine.
Yeah,
it's
this
just
is
another Cold
just
Case.
what you want.
But yeah, I would say even with sort of the dream start for the Mage, the Druid is still just gonna play some large dragons and then follow it up with a Malagos to completely refill the hand. This turn having the option between Widowbloom Seedsman or dragons. Yeah, it looks like ops for the Seedsman to get that card draw, get a little bit of mana ramp.
Yep.
Mage here, looking at Arcane Artificer. Okay.
Arcane Artificer Reverb really helps.
Yeah, Reverb's sort of one of the only ways Mage has to deal with these large minions.
Pretty much.
As well as adding the Shadow Spell School for potential creation or inspiration.
Yep.
Coming up.
Now, this has become a very... I mean, the Druid is very much in the back foot. They never got their full board.
I don't know if I would say the Druid's on the back foot. I think the Druid still has a lot of very, very strong plays available for them.
They do.
Okay. That's a question of do you play the Whelp alongside the Proto-Drake? Do you play the Whelp alongside Cactus Construct and Hero Power?
I think killing that Fi is pretty good.
Hero Power.
Umbrogeist
seems to be the only one with a relevant effect here.
Yeah, you're not playing Murlocs out of nowhere.
You could play Brewmaster and probably just use it to buff the taunt here. Or, okay, holds the Brewmaster. I guess you can play the 7-drop Dragon alongside Brewmaster to get 2 potential boards out of 1 card.
Now, that's another full board for the Mage. So this, to me, this looks like a Mally turn.
Yes, I would agree. And Baticus agrees as well. Yeah, and having access to the Sunken Gardens off of the Mally is certainly strong.
Yeah.
I think I would probably opt for a Cactus Construct first and then Sunken Gardens, just so you get that additional 2 minions to soak up the buffs on. But okay, decides to just play the Sunken Gardens here, and then
maybe the Asharan Gardens as well.
Alongside Asharan, I'm not sure. I think I would want to hold the Innervate plus Asharan Gardens, just in case you draw a minion on the next turn. Okay, Innervate Aquatic form is interesting because I don't know if there's any other 1-drops to find from the deck. There'd be Peaceful Pipers, but
I don't know that you're looking for those.
I would agree. Yeah, I would say a little bit of misordering here if we end up playing the Cactus Construct after Gardens, just missing out on those stats. But now has that Dragon Golem on top, so we'll be able to get quite a large board next turn.
Now, you could go for Molten Rune here, just as get more damage, or Ice Barrier.
Yeah, Ice Barrier makes sense here. There's a lot of burn in hand for the Mage, so now just sort of needs to stall out long enough to be able to close the game out with this burn.
Yep. Now, I just want to let you know, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with my computer, so after this match, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Here, Fiendish Circle would not have been my first instinct. I would have probably opted for Seal of Blood.
Yeah.
A bit of extra damage.
It's also a Holy Spell, but getting a Fel Spell isn't bad. Now is...
Yeah, Fel... I would say Fel, Holy, and Nature are the 3 that are very difficult to get with the deck that you're exclusively getting off of that.
Yeah.
Here we are going to see the Sunken Gardens come down, and then
probably Dragon
Golem for 3 beefy taunts.
Yeah. Now you can quite easily just play Inquisitive Creation, and that ends them.
It only does 6, but yeah, we do have these one
Yeah.
clean up here. Um, hmm. Okay, yeah, starting with trading the snake oil, looks like, which makes sense. Wonder, do you play reverb on the Malagos before the Inquisitive Creation
Um.
to fully clear this board? Yeah, looks like that is going to be what Dreadeye opts for. 'Cause now has that board advantage. Druid in a bit of an awkward position here. Doesn't have access to that second dragon golem to really refuel the board. Could opt to play is for the Spine-tailed Drake alongside the Proto Drake. Um, get a
Oh.
oh, uh, interesting. I don't know if that match was quite over yet. I think the mage had the upper hand, but the druid still had some game there with some large
I agree.
minions.
We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back after the technical issues are over. 1 second, everyone.